And we are back. Community Connections for Youth is an organization with a mission to develop effective, community-driven alternatives to incarceration for youth. Now, their participatory action research team has recently conducted a survey titled 7 Generations of Bronx Femmes. Here now to share more information about CCFY and their research findings are Shaniqua West, Crystalee Romero-Smith, Devontae Lewis, and Dr. Whitney Richards Calathis. And from Community Connections for Youth, we welcome. I got all your names right?
Yeah.
Gold Star Darren, doing good. Good to have you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys did some great work, and I want to get to a couple of things. First of all, I want to talk about the exploring gender and incarceration in the Bronx. So give us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so over the past 2 years, collectively as a team, we worked to carry out a participatory action research project, which essentially means that when we think about research generally, we don't think about people that look like us, that come from the Bronx, and that work collectively together. And so over the course of 2 years, we thought of a research topic, research question, carried out a survey of over 100 young women in the Bronx to explore kind of the intersection between punishment systems and gender.
And what are we finding?
Who wants to tackle that one?
Somebody tell me.
So one of the interesting things that we found, one is that system contact with young women is multi-generational. So the vast majority of people that took our survey, young women that took our survey, also had a female family member that had also had system contact, whether that's arrest or contact with police. And that women were really the people who were there to support family members going through the system. But one of the, I think more surprising findings was even though women were showing up to support one another, moms, grandmas, they were actually receiving very little support in navigating the system.
Yeah, and we also see that it's not just about gender, it's also about immigration as well. And so 28% of our girls surveyed that they were first-generation citizens. And we see that our community celebrates the immigrational culture, but there's these punitive approaches that correlate with the system of immigration and the juvenile justice system.
So give me a little bit about Community Connections for Youth and what you're doing.
So CCFY, which is Community Connections for Youth, works with young people and community to try to divert young people from the system and building community capacity so that the community can take care of its young people instead of pushing them through the system and having that weird trajectory.
How have you found that to work?
It works.
It does, yes.
I think it's been about 10 years for CCFY, so 10 years in the game.
Right.
I mean, that has to show that it works in some way.
Definitely. And also you got Urban Girl Magic. I want to get an opportunity to talk about
Yes.
that.
Urban Girl Magic.
That's it.
So Urban Girl Magic was birthed from our findings in this project. So me and Crystalee co-founded Urban Girl Magic in January 2018. So we've been running for a year and a half so far. So we focus on creating space for young women of color from all over the Bronx. So just come share their voice through leadership. We do one-on-one mentoring. We do school support. We create dialogue so they can have the opportunity to talk about issues that's affecting them in their life, in their community. We cook together. We dance. Crystalee,
A whole lot of fun. We have a whole lot of fun. And we run that on Thursdays at our main building down on 3rd Avenue in the Mount Haven area. And it's from 4 to 5:30. So if you know any girls that want to come, please refer us.
Yes, that's it. So somebody's watching right now saying, listen, I like your energy. So,
Metro cards, food, and some sisterly love. It's just bringing girls together to just create that girlhood and sisterhood.
Yeah.
So when you talk about this atmosphere, this energy, obviously it's focused, right?
Yes.
In terms of trying to improve the lives of other people and really offer connection. Do you feel like, the work that you do is really having a hands-on effect in terms of shaping and changing the lives of people?
Yeah, it is. In my personal opinion, not everything works. So you have to find what works for who you're working with. And it's about self-reflection as well. You have to do the work internally before you try to help somebody else. I've seen some of our girls, they ask for school support, and they also ask us to just be ourselves, and we demonstrate that by we both in school, we're both college students, so we demonstrate leadership by providing spaces for our girls to facilitate their own workshops, which is growing through leadership, and just provide, like, creating space so they could, create
Be
a space so they could,
themselves.
be themselves.
And
have a
everyone on our
voice.
team is system impacted, so we have some type of experience, and we're experts in our own experience, and the girls can relate to us, and they see us as role models.
Doctor, if there's a girl out there watching right now, what do they do?
Sorry?
If there's a girl out there watching.
Well, I think like Crystal said, definitely come through to our program. I also think own your expertise, right? That's really what our research is about. That a lot of times when people think about young people who are system impacted or going through the court system, there's a tendency to think about them as bad kids, right? The idea of an individual deficit. And really the idea is whatever you experience, own your story, right? The young women that we spoke to, our girls, are all actually experts on what alternatives to incarceration for young women can look like.
Well, thank you all for coming. Certainly, if you're a young lady out there, we want you to find out more about communications, community connections for youth. It's been a long day, you know. You can visit their website at cc-fy.org. Well, definitely want to let you know we've come to the end of our show today. Want to thank all of our guests for joining us and you, the viewer, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the Recablecast, well, guess what? 5:10 p.m., Optimum Channel 67, Verizon Fios, I should say, Channel 33, or anytime on the web at Bronxnet.org. Before we leave, special shout out to Lissy Dominguez, last time directing me here on the set of Open. Got to give her props where props is due. Raps are for us here on the set of Open. That's why I messed this up, because I'm really emotional about Lissy, so we're going to talk about this later on. All right, talk to you later. Keep your heart, your mind, most of all, this channel wide open. Take care, everybody. God bless.